Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? One of the best things that you can do as you are starting this journey of building who it is that you want to be is you take a piece of paper and you write down in segments every part of who you want to be. And look, there's a big difference between micro goals, things that are small that move you forward, and macro goals, big goals, long term things that you want to accomplish over weeks, months, years, decades, right? And what you do is you sit down and you write this out. You say, this is what I want my relationship to be. This is what I want my self-esteem to look like. This is what I want my career to look like. This is what I want to do when I am feeling happy or sad or angry. And you kind of lay out and define exactly the person that is that you want to be. And I want you to think about long term. We often get stuck in this notion or idea of change happens immediately. Well, as you know, if you've spent any time in this growth mindset and learning and stepping into understanding what's next, small incremental changes lead to big, gigantic changes. And it starts with one thing at a time, baby steps. As you are creating this pathway and framework of the person that you want to be, what I want you to take into consideration is what does your life look like down the road? Right? Because today it's probably not representative of the person that you want to be. You're not showing up. You're not standing up for yourself. The self-esteem is very low. You don't believe in yourself. You let other people walk all over you. You set goals, but you never reach them, right? That is the person that we are working through to become the person that we want to be. You want to show up. You want to reach goals. You want to stand up for yourself, so on and so forth. You have to define what that person looks like. And that's the macro, right? So that's the high end. That's what you in 10 years looks like. Because realistically, and I want to be clear with you, and I don't want to mislead you, this process, healing, growing, changing, showing up, it literally takes a lifetime. And you know, as I've been coaching and mentoring and writing books and traveling the world and speaking and sharing this information, the one thing that I always tell people is that you have to deploy an immense amount of patience because there is never going to be a day. And I'm going to break it to you right here. And if you have not discovered this, you need to know this now. There is never going to be a day that you are not going to have to put in effort. There is never going to be a day where you don't have to show up for yourself. There is never going to be a day where magically you're going to wake up and life is la la land. That's not real. But you get to the point where it takes less effort every day because of the work that you're doing now. Stop focusing on tomorrow. That is not to say that tomorrow doesn't take effort, but stop focusing on trying to create this vast change tomorrow and think about what tomorrow's effort looks like 10 years from now, right? We often get stuck in this idea and ideation of not creating goals for the long term. And because of that, we fail over and over and over again in the short term. This effort of macro is so far down the road that this picture that you paint is going to take a bazillion micro efforts. And what I mean by that is you sat down, you wrote down the person that you want to be, you identified all these areas of your life that are important that you kind of create and make the caricature of. And now, tomorrow, and even today, right now, this moment, think about what is the one thing that you can do today that moves you closer to that goal. And then from now until the rest of your life, how do you do one thing every single day that moves you closer to that goal, right? And so if your goal is, I want to lose 100 pounds, you're not going to lose 100 pounds overnight. And as someone who has lost 160 of those pounds, let me tell you this, it takes years, right? It takes effort, it takes years, it takes patience, right? If you want to put yourself in a position where you've worked through cptsd and trauma and you're defining what that looks like, you have to understand that that process takes years. If you want to build self-esteem, that process takes years. And that's not a bad thing because here's what you have to think about. That long-term goal, the effort that you're making for the macro is going to take efforts today. And as you move through these small efforts today you are going to be able to notice change. So slowly you are going to start to develop and build self-esteem, self-narrative, self-growth, mindset, change. All of those things will start happening when you do small things now the right way. And you have to understand there's no shortcut in this, right? We often fail at our goals and our plans and our mission because we're always looking for the shortcut. We're always looking for the right now. We're always looking for, can I be on to the next thing? So make this macro goal that you want to accomplish, make it grandiose, make it huge, make it being whatever it is that you want to be. Because here's my understanding of the world. There is no way that you should not be able to have what you want in your life if you are willing to work for it. Now, it may take you 25 years to have that, to have the relationship, to have the body, to have the mindset, to have the career, to have the family social structure, to have the self-esteem. It may take years. And I want you to understand that that is okay. Be patient, but be relentless. Move forward every day with intention, because the only way that your life is going to change is by putting in those micro efforts on a day-to-day basis.